Okay, Ryan Burke, we're sitting here for a good reason. You've signed a new contract at Waterford FC. Um, how happy are you, I suppose, first of all, to have that signed, sealed, and delivered and to be with us for another little while?
No, I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm delighted to get it done now. It was in the pipeline for the last couple of months now, probably. But now, I just said it's brilliant having a sign, sale, and deliver kind of thing, and looking forward.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Like we actually stood here after the game against Drogheda on Friday night, myself and yourself. You got man of the match. First of all, how did that feel to get man of the match last Friday night?
Now it was brilliant, yeah. It's always good help and contributing to the team, like you know what I mean, and to be voted man of the matches is always a plus.
So we stood here, kind of in front of this banner here with the room full, and I broke the news, I suppose, to our lounge customers here that you were after signing the contract, and I have to say that the cheer that went up was brilliant. That must have felt nice as well.
No, that's brilliant when you know the fans do like you. I think they've taken to me quite well since I've actually moved down. In my fourth season, last season, they've been brilliant with me, like, and it's continued on through this season as well. So that's great to have the fan support like that.
Yeah, like I know from sitting in the stands myself, and even like I've only been working with the club since probably April, but I know myself from just being a fan how well supported you are, how well liked you are from the fan base. So I know everyone is delighted. But just on a personal note yourself, you did say here on Friday night that you love it here. Like, how has it been since you arrived in Waterford in 2023?
Yeah, no, as I said, I do love it down here. Everything about the place, I love the city. The team, since I've came in, like, we're nearly all best mates. Like, you know what I mean? It's a great group of lads, and that obviously makes it a lot easier when you're training with them every day, being with them every day. But no, I do really love it here, and I'm looking forward to the future.
And I suppose, look, it's easy, I suppose, talk about the lads and the setup and the football club, but Waterford City itself. You mentioned loving the city. Like, is it? Look, listen, there's no comparison with Dublin where you're from, obviously. But like, now that you're settled here, you've been here a good while. Do you really feel at home here in the city?
No, I do, yeah. I like getting around the city, and then obviously just heading out to Tramore with the lads now, every now and again. It does be good, but no, I do really like it down here, and it is like a second home.
Brilliant. It's great to hear. Like, you're only 23 years of age, which I can't believe because I've gotten to know you over the course of the season, and it's hard to believe. Like, I feel like a bit of an outlaw, but that's all right as well. Time passes by. But at 23 years of age, you're one of the more senior players in the team.
Yeah.
With experience wise and just like in general the way you carry yourself and stuff like that. How have you found that role yourself personally this season?
Well, yeah, it is mad to think that at 23 that I will be one of the more senior players because it is such a young squad. Yeah. But no, I like being like that. Obviously, it's a good trait to have where you're going to carry yourself well and you're good around the lads, like trying to help them out and stuff. But yeah, no, it still is a bit mad at 23 being like that. But no, I do like it.
And do you find, like, as one of the more experienced players in the team, that there is a stage where players are coming to you for a bit of advice or even to put your arm around them a little bit and kind of steer them in the right direction?
Maybe sometimes you do have that. But it's more just being around the lads and trying to help them out, like new lads coming in, signing and stuff. I'd always like to be around them and just making sure they're all good, like the likes of 40 and stuff coming from Australia, helping him settle down and stuff like that. I do like that role because I know how tough it can be when you move away and stuff. And even like the likes of Queely and stuff coming into the team. I think it's good to have like a good bond with the younger lads and make them feel welcome. So I think that's a role I like playing.
And obviously, look, we're talking about people coming down from different parts of the world, not just different parts of Ireland, and settling here. But just for yourself, talk to us about playing under Keith Long. I believe you played under Keith at Bowes for a little while as well. Is that right?
Yeah, no, I do know Keith since the schoolboy days out in Joey's. Yeah. He used to always be in and around like them kind of teams, so I do know him a while. And then obviously he made contact with me when I was on my last year at Mansfield, and just when Steve wanted to come home to Bowes, and that's where that came about, that move to Bowes through Keith. And now I love working with Keith. I think he's brilliant. Me and him do have a good relationship with each other, and I think he's straightforward. Like, he'll tell you how it is, and I've just had a good relationship with him since playing under him.
Yeah, and I did one of these with Podge there a few weeks ago when he signed his new deal, and he had the same thing. It seems that personal relationship with Keith is, I won't necessarily say key to it all, but definitely a huge part of it. It must be the same with yourself, considering this is your second club you've played under him with.
No, definitely, yeah. I think he manages the squad really well. Obviously, it's a tough job when you need to leave lads out, and I was one of them this year. He had to leave out, but he's always kept me on side and made me feel part of it, like he does with most lads. And I think that's brings the team together. Like, you can leave lads isolated and stuff where it doesn't happen down here. So I think he's really good at managing the squad.
Yeah, and like, you were carrying an injury earlier on this year as well. Like, and to think that, as we said, like, you signed a new deal, man of the match last week, definitely one of the more senior players in the squad. Like, talk to us a little bit about what that's like to be sitting on the sidelines but then work your way back into the team.
Yeah, no, it's tough obviously because, like, personally you want to play every game, you want to be around the lads, you want to be winning games and stuff. But obviously when I was out of team, we did go on a bit of a good run, and you kind of have to bide your time a bit, but you have to keep the head and train the way you always train, and hopefully you do get back into the team, and when you do, you have to kind of keep your spot kind of thing. But no, it is tough being out of a team. But as I said, once you're back in, you need to lay down a mark and try to stay in that team. For sure, yeah. And listen, I mentioned obviously playing under Keith at a couple of different clubs, but just like you've obviously played at a couple of different clubs yourself, like from Joey's, Mansfield, was you Birmingham, I think you're with as a youth as well, and then Bowes, and here. Like, what was your experience like at the RSC compared with those other clubs? Well, I was obviously really young when I was at like Mansfield and stuff. I was only 18, 19, kind of playing there. So I kind of felt like one of the younger lads with a lot of the senior boys around. So obviously I didn't really feel that much part of the squad and stuff like that. I wasn't playing a lot, whereas since I've came to Waterford, I've kind of played, like, you know what I mean? So it's felt like I've really been part of this squad and part of the team, and I think that's why I really like it down here. We talked before we set up all the stuff here, we were talking about that magical night in Tala last November where, the club secured promotion and the team, that you played on secured promotion more than anything else. How has it been, I suppose, with the season back in the Premier League? What has the experience like with the step up? I think it's been brilliant. I think we've handled it really well. Our first game was against Shells, who are the league leaders, and we put it up to them. I think we grew in confidence since then. We knew we belonged in the league. A lot of people wrote us off before the start of the season and said they'll be straight back down, but I think we've showed enough this season how good we can be. I know we've let ourselves down recently, which has been tough, but we've been right there all season, so it's been a really good year. Do you think it's fair to say maybe that there was a bit of overachieving, which got some people, myself included by the way, quite excited? But realistically, survival in the Premier League was the main goal this year. You said yourself, and I know, like, even from doing the earlier podcasts, it was a bit of a stick in the craw of the players and the staff that people were just saying, Waterford will go straight back down. Oh yeah, no, people say that, it gives you that hunger to prove them wrong kind of thing. But probably at the start of the season it was to stay up. It was our fourth season back in the Premier Division. We didn't know what we were really coming into, but it was a very strong league, we knew that, like. But it was only normal for people to think that we can get to Europe and we can go forward, or maybe who knows what could have happened, like, you know what I mean, if we did win a few more games. But listen, I still think it's been a very positive season, and we still have 3 big games to go, and we'll see what we can do there. Yeah, like, we'll get to maybe the 3 games in a second, but just like, I think there's there's a tendency you could say, like, the season's petered off a little bit, and that is what it is. But at the same time, has there been enough, like, shining qualities this year, enough highs and big nights, and that glimpse of what could be to maybe drive you on to further things next season? Yeah, I think so. I think if we can build on what we've done this season and have that confidence going in from the start, I think we could have a really, really positive season next season. And that's why I'm so happy to be part of it. Hopefully I can be a big help to that. But no, there's definitely, we've shown we're more than capable to put it up to every team in this league. So we'll be looking to do the same again next season.
Now, with 3 games left to play, I'm sure yourself and the squad are keen, I suppose, to end it on a high as well. You mentioned letting yourselves down. I think maybe you're being a little bit harsh on yourself there, if I can say that. But are you keen to try and end it on a high? 1 home game and 2 aways left?
Definitely, yeah. Obviously, we have our last game here against Bowes, and we want to give something back to the fans for how good they've been this season. But obviously, then the two other big ones against Shells and Rovers, who are both competing for the league. Like, it's not like we're going to be going out and rolling over. Like, we have nothing to play for. We want to go there and want to put on 2 positive displays away from home and see what we can get out of the games.
Yeah, and listen, safety is secured obviously since last Friday, which was brilliant as well. You know, it would have been dreamland stuff if you told anyone at the beginning of the season. But like, with the way the league is shaping up, it looks like the final day could be amazing. I mean, and we will have a big say in that.
No, definitely, yeah. It's anyone's, like, you have the 4 teams, maybe 5 teams that can still win the league at this stage of the season. There's only 3 games to go. Well, obviously 4 for a couple now, but like, it looks like it's going to be going right down to the wire, and it could be decided that night where like Rovers could be going for the league, and we're going to have a big part to play in that league. So we need to do ourselves like justice going out and playing well, but as long with the other teams in the league that are fighting for that league title, like, you know what I mean? So it's going to be an interesting last day.
Yeah, there can definitely still be an exciting end to the season, I think. But if we go to Talca Park this Friday night, I know the game is live on Virgin Media 3 and Virgin Media Play. Is it cool to be playing on TV like that? Is that kind of a little added bonus, or does that even come into it for you?
I don't think it really comes into it too much. I don't think you can think about things like that. But obviously it's good for your family, friends and fans if you can't get to watch the game that is on live television. It'd be great if there was more games shown on the telly as well, obviously, but it's good how many we've got this season anyways. But no, it's good to be on the telly at the same time. And
what are your thoughts ahead of the game on Friday night? Obviously, listen, Shells themselves have I suppose fallen victim of they had a brilliant stretch of games. They're obviously top of the table. Everyone was tipping them to run away with the league. It hasn't happened that way for them. Their form's not been great. Like, what are your thoughts ahead of what would be a crucial game for them, especially at Talca on Friday night?
No, yeah, it's a massive game for them. As you said, like, they went on a great run and then it's been a bit sticky for them, but they still have a great squad of players there. I'm sure they're going to be well up for the game. They're going for a league title. But I'm really looking forward to the game on Friday. I just want to go up and give a really good display of ourselves as well.
Does it ever come into it like that, staying in the table is secured now? There'll be a lot of people saying, there's nothing to play for. Does that ever really come into a professional's head, like that there's nothing to play for?
No, never, because everyone's always playing for something at the end of the day, like, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, myself, I'll be playing, like, put the best version of myself out there, like, you know what I mean, for next season, like, see how well I can do and then kick into the following season. Other lads playing for contracts, there's just loads of things in football to be always playing for, like. So I don't think it should come into anyone's head that there's nothing to play for, because there always is. Yeah, no, I have a couple of mates who are League of Ireland fans in Dublin, and there was a lot of talk of, well, by the time we play Shells, you won't have anything to play for and stuff like that. But I said, like, I don't think that's ever really a thing. No. Like, and that's why I think Waterford FC will have such a huge say on where the Premier League title ends up this year. No, exactly. Yeah, as I said, we have three massive games and 2 against teams that are going for the title, like, you know what I mean? So we'll need to go there and give a good display. Mm-hmm. And just for yourself personally, Ryan, as we finish up here, for your own personal goals for next season after signing the new deal, what would be your own personal goals? Personally, I just play as much as possible, and then chip in maybe with a few goals and assists, clean sheets. Like, there hasn't been enough of them this season, so hopefully we can be more defensively solid next season. But personally, I just want to play as much as possible and contribute to the team as much as possible. Brilliant. As well. Excellent. Well, look, Ryan Burke, I think I could speak for everyone in the fan base when I say we're delighted to have you on board for next season. Cheers, Tony. And good seeing you as always, Burkey. Top man.